Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you've all had a wonderful day. So I am about to do the random questions tag. I was tagged in it by the Lovely Willow Biggs, and I think a few of my answers are probably going to be the same as hers. But yeah, so it's just a selection of really random questions that help you to know a little bit more about me. And yeah, so let's get into the video. So the first question is, what's your nickname? I actually have quite a few. My actual name is Charlotte, but for YouTube and things, I thought the wacky world of Lottie just sounded cooler. So I've got Lottie. Drea's sister calls me Lots. My dad and my mum call me Charlie. My granddad calls me Charlie. And the main nickname I actually have is from Drea. And basically my nickname is Dee and his is Dee. And it's actually a really funny story. His sister, when we first got together, she used to walk around saying to her boyfriend, Dee, and she used to really, really annoy him. And once I did it to Drea, and since then it's just kind of stuck. So now if we're like talking to each other, we'll be like, oh, Dee, could you get me that? Or Dee, can you get me that? So yeah, it's just a nickname that's kind of stuck. So yeah, Dee or Dee. The next question is, do you have any weird habits? I don't know. Weird habits. I don't think I particularly do. I mean, I'm quite an odd and wacky person, so maybe I can't actually pinpoint anything because everything I do is weird. I have to go back to the house if I think I haven't shut the door properly, or if I haven't turned my hair straighteners off. I have to come back. I will have driven halfway down the road, or even like 3 miles down the road, and I will have to come back because I'm not entirely convinced that I've turned it off, and it panics me, so I have to come back. I don't think there is anything. No weird habits, I'm afraid, that I can think of anyway. Any phobias? So I completely agree with Willow. I frigging hate moths. The fluttering freaks me out, the flapping, I just don't like it. The worst ones for me are the ones that have got like the really fat bodies. My nan used to call them billy witches. And if they sort of bounce up against your light or they bounce up against your window, oh, I'm done for. Oh no. And Dre's rubbish as well, so there's a pair of us screaming around like little kids because we both hate them. I think I don't like spiders. Spiders freak me out because they run at you. Like when you try and hit that thing with a pack of baby wipes, it's like whoosh, towards you, so that freaks me out. I try not to kill them if I can. I do try and catch them in something and sort of flick them out, but I'm never very good at it, so they do tend to get slam dunked with a baby wipe packet. It's a funny story. Well, it's funny now that it's not happening. When I still lived at my mum and dad's, I had this baggy t-shirt that I'd sort of throw on when I got out the shower. And obviously I'd laid it on the floor. And then when I got out of the shower, I picked up the baggy t-shirt, chucked it on, walked through to my bedroom. And I felt like this tickling, like on my chest. And I thought, oh, what's that? Flicked my t-shirt, literally just like that, flicked it. And this giant spider flew out, like the size of my fist. It flew out and hit the floor. I've never screamed so much in my whole life, and I really did slam dunk that thing with a baby wipe packet. I was so scared. The dark scares me a little bit as well. Like normally, I'm pretty okay with the dark, but if it's dark and I can hear things and I don't know what it is I can hear, that really scares me sometimes. So yeah, the dark can be a bit scary, I suppose. I mean, I prefer things at night time. I actually prefer driving at night. I prefer doing things at night, like pootling around the house, tidying up. If I could sleep in the day and do things at night, I totally would. I'm pretty much a vampire without the teeth and the sucking blood thing. What do you sing is the next question. So I have a few songs that I tend to sing just randomly. I will sing obviously ones that I've heard on the radio and things like that, but there are like a select few that every now and again I will just sort of spring into song with. There's the Do You Want to Build a Snowman one from Frozen. No idea why. It just pops in my head and I'm like, do you want to build a snowman? And every time I do it, I'm usually around my dad and he's like, no, shut up. And the other one is Mr. Sandman. All the time, sing it. I actually, when I started work where I do, and a couple of other girls started, I started singing it. And they were like, what are you singing? I was like, have you never heard the Mr. Sandman song? And they were like, no. And I actually had to sit there and be like, Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. And they were just, no, not a clue. But those two I tend to go for. And the How Do You Like Your Eggs in the Morning? I like that one too. But they're sort of my random ones that I will spring into song with. The next one is pet peeves. To be honest, I don't particularly have any. I am a very messy person. Drea hates it. I do try and be tidy, but I just have so much stuff. It's so difficult. But I think my pet peeves are when I've asked someone to do something, and they haven't done it. So like if I've asked Drea to do the washing up before I get home from work, and it's still there when I get in, I just find it really irritating. It's the same as if, you know, I've asked him to hang out the washing or get the washing in and it hasn't been done. It just, drives me nuts. And it's the same at work as well. If I've asked someone to do something and then they haven't done it, it's like, well, what else are you doing? You know, it needs to be done, so let's all like help each other and do it. So I think if I've asked someone to do something and they haven't done it, especially like at Subway, if I've left a note for somebody to do something at the end of their shift, if I come in the next morning and that hasn't been done, I'm so annoyed. It just, drives me nuts. So yeah, asking people to do things and then them not doing it does annoy me. Nervous habits. I tend to play with my ears a lot because I've got a lot of earrings. And I tend to sort of fiddle with my earrings if I'm nervous or I'm thinking. I tend to fiddle with my earrings a lot. And I jiggle my legs as well. You know, that sort of jittery jiggling you do with your legs sometimes. I do that if I'm nervous. And I bite my lip as well. Or I'll sort of pick at my lip and then it looks disgusting. But yes, they're probably my nervous habits. What side of the bed do you sleep on? I sleep on the right side of the bed at the minute. When I lived at home at Mum and Dad's, I used to sleep on the left, and depending on which way round Drea's bed was when he still lived at home, I would sleep on the left. But when we moved in here, the way our bed is the left side is nearest the door. I won't sleep on that side. No, it freaks me out. I don't know why I've got this theory that some serial killer's going to break into the house, and I figure if I'm not on that side, I'm not going first. Not that I would be able to get out because they'd have blocked my path, but I figure if I am going to be stabbed to death, I don't want to be the first one. I might be able to plead with them at this point. So yeah, I sleep on the right, but I tend to sleep on the side that's not near the door. That's just the side I sleep on. Did you have a teddy? I did. I'd like to insert a picture of him, but he is safely at home with my mum and dad. Because I have a load of cuddly toys that I bought here, mainly all elephants, actually. But he is a tiny, floppy duck from Mothercare. He is 22 years old, because I'm only 23, so he's 22 years old. I think he was one of the first toys I was ever given. He is literally just a flat duck with like a little floppy head and little flat arms and feet, or little hands. Oh, you know what I mean. Hands and feet. And he's so grubby, bless him. He's like yellow with little white dots on it. And he's so pale and old, and I just love him to pieces. I would love to have him here, but I don't think I've thought about bringing him. He's safely in a box with sort of my other baby things at home. But yeah. So, and he was called Ducky originally. He was just my tiny little yellow floppy duck. And when I was little, I used to hold him in one hand, and then with the other hand I used to suck these two fingers, and then these ones would sort of like stroke my face or whatever. It's just the way I used to go to sleep. So I'd hold Ducky in one hand and suck my fingers in the other. But yeah, So he's at home with my mum and dad. What's your poison when you go to Starbucks or Costa? I don't like tea. I don't like coffee. So for me, it's a hot chocolate, preferably a luxury one with whippy cream and marshmallows. Because why not? Go whole hog if you're having a hot chocolate. But yeah, that's my choice. I would go for a hot chocolate because I don't like tea or coffee. What beauty rule do you preach but never practice? I don't really have any. I'm so relaxed when it comes to makeup and stuff. I mean, majority of the time I forget to prime, all stuff like that. I'm crap at it. So I'd say I'm pretty relaxed with my makeup. I think. Yeah, I don't particularly preach anything and not do it. Majority of the time I just don't do it because I've forgotten. But yeah, I don't think so. Weird shower faces. If I'm in the shower on my own, I don't tend to make a weird face because I'm on my own, so nobody's there to see it. If I'm with Drea, I tend to try and annoy him a little bit. So I will sit there and be like, or I'll sort of blow out and be irritating, which he loves. He does. He hates it. But yeah, if I'm on my own in the shower though, I wouldn't, because it's just weird. But if I'm with Drea, I do like to irritate him with a shower face. Have you got any weird body skills? I can roll my tongue like Willow. I used to know someone that could turn their eyelids like inside out, and they would sort of sit and they could like, it was disgusting though, really, really gross. But I used to be able to stand completely on my tiptoes, like completely on my toes. But after I fell down the stairs carrying the dog, it just completely spacked up my ankles. And now I just can't do it. Like my ankles click so much. Because when I fell down the stairs, I landed with my knees and my feet underneath me. So I went down on my knees carrying the dog. And I just sort of clicked both ankles. And since then, they've been really, really dodgy. Oh, Dre's coming downstairs. You're going to feature in my video. Say hello. Nope, he's not saying hello. But yeah, so I can't particularly do anything now. My ankle's just a bit dodged, so they don't work like that anymore. Favourite comfort food?
Where's my beers, babe?
Where's your beers?
Oh, yeah.
They're on the table. Or you can have that one that's in the fridge. Honestly, priorities. Yeah, my favourite comfort food is probably shepherd's pie, but only when Mum makes it, because she makes the best shepherd's pie. Other than that, I do like sweets. And I do like crisps and things. Look at him. Tart. He's chilling on the floor. He ordered himself a pizza earlier. Can you believe it? Ordered himself a pizza and forgot to ask me if I wanted anything. So yeah, probably shepherd's pie or sweet treats and things. I tend to comfort eat with nibbles and things just if I'm bored, to be honest. What phrase do you say most? I say a lot. I do the so anyway, and exactly I say a lot. So I'll say something and then I'll like exactly. So I say that a lot. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Probably isn't. And the last question is, what do you wear to bed?
Nothing.
He wishes it was nothing. I tend to wear pyjamas. I like the little joggy bottom types that you get from Primark with the like elasticated feet bits so they don't ride up your leg. And just like a cami top or a t-shirt. I like to be quite comfortable. Yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest. I like to be cosy. And if I'm going to stick my leg out the duvet because it's hot, I want to know that there is some sort of cover there. So my trousers are there for the cover. But yeah, to be honest, that's pretty much it. And I do wear underwear. There's loads of my friends don't wear underwear to bed. They just wear like pyjama bottoms. And I find it kind of odd. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I don't know. Do you? Don't you? Let me know. Put it in the comments. But yeah, so that is my random questions tag. Thanks, Willow, for tagging me in it. It's definitely been random. I am going to tag the lovely Charmed Wench, Lady MaWa and Julie Barbour. So I will pop their names in the description bit down below. And if you want to do it, do it. If not, don't. Doesn't matter. And yeah, thanks for joining me for this video. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about me and my randomness. And yeah, take care and I will see you guys soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!